in my estimation, staying alive is for pussies. There is more to life than staying alive. And if all you're trying to do is stay alive, to me, that's not living. So the argument for me that if we stay in our houses, we're going to be okay, I'm not all right with that. That's not okay to me. That's worse than getting the virus. Mm-hmm. Now, I understand people can't imagine that. People can't understand that. But we're hiding from a virus that kills, was it 0.4% of like total number of people that have been the number of people that they found with the virus. So clearly we don't die anywhere near what they thought we were going to die. I think it's something like 13 kids under the age of 15 have died, some tiny little number. And meanwhile, 10,000 of them or 16,000 of them have died of the flu. You know, I mean, it's just crazy. Don't quote me on those numbers, but it's just crazy numbers. So we're hiding from something that if you choose to hide from, you can. If you choose not to, you shouldn't have to. The hospitals never got overrun. The media does not tell us the truth. I have noticed since that article in the LA Times, when they reshut LA down here about 3 weeks ago, 1,500, 2,000 words. You guys can go look at it. And no, all it said is hospitalizations are up and the number of people that have contracted the virus via testing tells us that was up. So that was their justification for closing LA. Not, okay, the number of hospitalizations is up. Well, if you go from 0 to 1, that's up.
Yep.
Okay, so how overran are the hospitals? We know the answer to that's none. But they don't go into how overran the hospitals were. Then they talk about the number of sick are up compared to what? How many did you test last week? How many did you test this week? All right, we tested 2 last week and 10,000 this week, and the number of people with COVID went up. So, but they don't ever explain that. How many people have died? Right? Of the total number of people for a specific period, how many of those people have died? And the number is very small. That's how you know that the information they don't want to give you, because the most basic of the information is left out. So they talk about here in Wallowa County, which is a tiny little county in eastern Oregon. There can't be 2 people living there. Apparently one of them has COVID. And so the governor comes in and shuts the county down. I mean, legit, if there's, I mean, you guys got to understand Eastern Oregon. It goes on forever. It's gigantic. It's remote.
Empty.
Southeast Oregon there's towns in Southeast Oregon. French Glen is the name of one of them. I've been there. It's not, to call it a town it's a bed and breakfast and a restore that's only open half of the year because the weather's so bad. It's the most remote spot relative to a interstate in the continental United States.
Wow. Is
in Southeast Oregon.
That's
so Southeast Oregon is as far away from a highway as you can get.
Wow.
Anywhere in the United States. So it gives you an idea of what it's like out there. Well, they got the virus popped up. All they said is they had a flare up and there were more cases. More people put in the hospital. More cases that didn't result in anything. More cases that resulted in death. Runs on hospitals. Number of people that went in hospitals and stayed for however many days. The average age of the person who got it. If they died, what were their underlying symptoms, if there were any? You can't find that fucking information to save your life other than on these counters, right? You have counters. But in a news article, you can't find it. So I think it's all a bunch of bullshit myself. I think it's legit. It's real. People die from it. That's great. But what we've done, this is our hubris that we think that we can survive, that we can just shut shit down, that we can do all of these things and expect to come back. This will have ramifications for fucking years and years and years. But I'm not sitting back. I'm not. I refuse to. So I'm not gonna go hide in my house. My mother says it best. She's 82 years old, and she's like, "Fuck that. I'm not staying in my house. It's lonely at my house." And I didn't live 82 years to not go see my kids. I didn't live 82 years to not go see my daughters. And I'm just not going to do it. So I swear to God, every time I call the two of them, both my parents are 82. Every time I call them, they're at Home Depot, right? They're at Walmart, usually Home Depot because they're doing
house repairs and
they're
stuff.
doing house repairs and shit. Yeah. So they're right where they're not supposed to be, which is in the middle of Home Depot. Now, call them stupid. If one of them died or both of them died of COVID, they would be okay with it.
Yeah.
I have no doubt they would be okay with it because
They're
they're
not
not
living
going to
in fear.
think about it. We're 5.5, 6 months in. You're supposed to live in your fucking house for 6 months and not go anywhere. Why would you want to do that? You only have, if you're a dude, you live to be 70 some years old. The females now are living to be about 80 years old. You start to think about that. If you're in your 50s or 60s, you only got 5 or 10 6-month times left, per year. Because maybe you're alive for 10 more years. Seems to me that's an awful lot of time to give up.
Yeah.
Just to feel safe about something that kills an insignificantly tiny portion, even of, the average age of the people that die from COVID are older than the average age of the people that die.
Yeah.
That's the stat that just kills me. And why isn't that the stat every day at the start of every story?
News reporting.
Yeah. Why isn't it? Because all we care about is the number of people that die.
Because it doesn't fit the narrative.
Yeah, so that's exactly right. So I think that dying, there is more to living than just being alive.
Than just trying to survive.
Yep. And I mean, even when you try to survive, you're doing things and you're outliving, right? Sitting at home, hiding from death, theoretical death, right? Sitting at home, hiding from something, I don't know. To me, I'd rather not be here. Yeah. If I had to do that, I'd rather not be here. Because if I had to go home for 6 months, someone would have died.